She shattered my mother's truck window with a hammer, then called 911, claiming I was threatening her life. 10 minutes later, 2 cops showed up, and both of them used to be my partners on the force. That's when she realized she'd just picked a fight with the wrong guy. Name's Marcus Boyd. I'm 34, retired detective, and 6 months ago I moved into Clearwater Ridge to take care of my mom, stage 4 lung cancer. We'd lived here before, years ago, but now I was back for good, working remote as a software guy. I had 3 cars parked out front, my daily driver, a weekend SUV, and my mom's old pickup she refuses to sell. That's when Karen Delaney decided I was the problem. Karen was the self-appointed HOA queen, tight smile, pearls, clipboard like it was a weapon, claimed our neighborhood had a 2-vehicle max rule, sent me an email about it the second week I moved in. I replied fast, polite, explained the truck was my mom's, barely moved. Her response? HOA regulations do not permit personal exceptions. Cold, robotic, no soul. I thought, okay, maybe she's just a stickler. I pulled out the HOA charter, dug deep, and boom. That rule, never officially approved. Karen had tacked it on during a board meeting where only 4 out of 80 homeowners showed up. No quorum, no vote. Straight up illegal. Still, I didn't push. Tried the diplomatic route. That was my first mistake. Because by week 3, she wasn't just sending emails. She printed out a $50 daily fine and slapped it right on my windshield, centered perfectly so every neighbor walking by could see. And of course, she held a community emergency meeting about my violations at 2 p.m. on a Wednesday. Yeah, real democratic. When I couldn't show up because I was on a paid client call, she blasted out a newsletter accusing me of refusing to engage, disrespecting community values. The same woman who added rules behind closed doors was lecturing me on process. Please. But then came the walks. Karen started these community safety patrols with her little posse. 4 or 5 of them would stroll past my place 5 times a day, loudly discussing property values and what kind of people fit in around here. She aimed a security camera straight at my driveway, took notes, snapshots, like she was prepping a prosecution file. And suddenly, neighbors who brought me cookies the first week now ducked their heads when I walked by. Then came the real line crosser. Karen somehow got wind of my mom's condition, maybe through a friend at the clinic. Next thing I know, rumors are spreading. Sick woman, contagious, not good for the neighborhood. That Friday, I had to call an ambulance when Mom had a breathing episode. Before the EMTs could even finish checking her vitals, Karen was outside with her phone, snapping pictures of the ambulance. That night, I found a note in our mailbox. No signature, just Karen's handwriting. It read, "Some residents might be better suited to facilities more appropriate for their condition." That broke my mom. This woman, who spent 23 years in this house, who knew every neighbor, was now seen as a burden. I found her sitting by the window crying, whispering, "What did I do wrong, Marcus?" That was the breaking point. But Karen wasn't done. Oh no. 2 days later, I heard glass shatter in the driveway. Ran out. Karen Delaney standing there, hammer in hand, the back window of Mom's pickup completely smashed. She looked at me, wild-eyed, and screamed, "This is what happens when people ignore the rules." Then, Like something out of a sitcom. She pulls out her phone and calls 911. "I'm being threatened," she said. "He's destroying property. I'm scared for my life." I stood 15 feet away in pajama pants and slippers, phone in hand, calmly recording the whole thing. "This is Marcus Boyd, 42 Ash Grove Lane," I said. "It's 7:43 a.m. Karen Delaney just shattered my mother's truck window with a hammer and is calling the cops on me." Cops rolled in within 5 minutes, and guess who steps out? Jake Sullivan and Tom Ramirez, both guys I used to work with. Karen went pale. "Hey, Marcus," Jake says. "How's your mom doing?" I point to Karen. "Meet Karen Delaney. She just vandalized my vehicle and made a false police report." Jake looks at her, sees the hammer still in her hand, and says, "Ma'am, I'm going to need you to put that down and explain yourself." She stumbled over her words. First said she was cleaning broken glass, then admitted she smashed the window, but only because I made her feel unsafe. Tommy took my phone, scrolled through weeks of video, emails, voice recordings, looked at me and just said, "You built a whole case." Oh, but the real nuke came after. I dug deeper into HOA finances, charter votes, property deeds, and turns out the parking lot Karen had been threatening me over, not even HOA owned. It belonged to a police pension trust, a trust I had ties to as a retired officer. Within 24 hours, I filed papers and bought the entire lot outright for a fraction of market value. That weekend, Karen held a big HOA meeting to vote me out, called me a threat, a disgrace. But I came prepared. I showed up, plugged in my laptop, and dropped bomb after bomb. Illegal rule changes, racist emails, proof of embezzlement, footage of her destroying my mom's truck. And then the final slide. The deed. I was now the legal owner of every parking spot in the neighborhood. The room erupted. Her husband stood up and clapped. The treasurer backed me. A vote was held. Karen was removed from her position, 52-8. So yeah, she came at me over 3 cars. Now she's banned from setting foot on the pavement she used to rule, and me? I park wherever I damn well please. Tell me again who broke the rules.